Alright, welcome back. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to talk about margin, padding, and borders. Very simple, quick video. So what I have is a boilerplate, and let me drag this in. And what I have in this boilerplate, and we should know this by class already, is I do have a div ID equals wrapper with the rules. So we know max width 960 pixels, margin 0 auto. And I have 4H1 tags, and I have a paragraph of text. You should know how to actually do that. If you don't, then you might want to look at one of the previous videos. Alright, so what I want to do at this point is I want to add borders. And borders are very easy to add. So let's just say that I want to add a border to this H1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say H1. This is basic CSS. This is what I want to code the border for. And I'm going to write border. Alright, we're going to do the shorthand syntax. So the first part is how thick you want the actual border to be. So if I say 3 pixels, that's saying that I want my border to be 3 pixels thick. And then I'm going to write the type of border. And a regular standard border is known as a solid border. Now you could write dotted if you'd like to, which will give you a dotted border. And you can go to look at CSS borders online and figure out all the other ones. There's Groove, um, but the standard is just solid. That's the one I'm going to stick with. All right. And the next is the color. So I could say like black if I want to, red, teal, or you could also write in a number, a value here, a hex code, or the RGB. But I'm not going to do that. Literally, I'm just going to just say black. Just want solid black here. And there we go. So what I should have is an actual border. That's how easy it is to make actual borders. Now, you can add a border just to a side. So let's just say I wanted a border on the bottom. I could come here and type in border bottom, and you can see that I'll only have a border on the bottom of my content here, right, which is fun. Now you're probably wondering why this is extended the whole way. Alright, so we know that the wrapper is the parent. So what's happening is everything that we add is going to already have a width of 960 pixels, whether we think it does or it doesn't. It does. So if you want to change this, you would have to specify a width for the H1. So I could come in here, if I said like width, let's just say like 400 pixels. Now what you'll see is that the H1s will only have a width of 400 pixels. And if you wanted it to be perfect, you'll have to go in and size those up. Alright, now let's talk about margin. And I'm going to just go ahead and add my regular standard border so we can see this. Alright, just like this. There we go. Now let's talk about margin. Alright, so what margin is going to do is it's going to move everything. It's going to take the border and it's going to take the word and shift it whichever direction I want. I could say margin left, margin right, margin top, margin bottom. Let's just say I wanted to shift it all to the right. What I could do is just say margin, and I could say margin left. Let's just say I wanted to shift it over so we can see it 100 pixels. What you'll notice is it has shifted. Alright. Now padding, on the other hand, is a little bit different. Padding is sort of like indentation. So what will happen is padding moves an element within its border. Alright? Margin moves everything. It took the border and the word. Padding, on the other hand, will only move this word here within its border. So let's take a look at that. So let's come in and let me just write padding, and I'm just going to shift it to the left. Let's just say I wanted to move it 45 pixels. What you'll notice is that only the word moved. The actual border did not. So that's kind of how this is actually working. So that's a quick way. So margin moves everything. Padding moves an element within its border, and it created an actual border here. So I hope you kind of remember this, and it was a quick refresher.